So guys, I am literally going to take off all my clothes, get in bed, and try to sleep for like 2 hours because I have to be at the airport at 5 in the morning and I'm operating a flight from Oakland to Dallas. And once we get to Dallas, we have technically a 10-hour rest, which is the norm, but it can be reduced to an 8-hour shift for rest. So yeah, I have 10 hours in Dallas, Fort Worth before I head back to Vegas. So not really any sleep tonight. We left Vegas, I had to be there at 9:30 p.m. By the time I'm in the room, it's now 1:30 because even though they made reservations for us here at this hotel, they did not include the payment method. So we waited for over an hour to get our rooms so that we can rest for a couple of hours before we have to fly at 5 in the morning, or we have to be at the airport at 5, then we leave at 6 to go to Dallas. So yeah. Long night. Anyways, I'm wasting time. I'm gonna get naked. Gotta go to bed. So this is a new hotel in Oakland where we're only sitting for, at this point, I have to be up in less than 2.5 hours. So this is just like a sitting room. So it is different than the one that we normally stay at in Oakland because it's closer to the airport. Okay, so I'm giving you a really fast tour. Got a couple of drawers, TV, micro, fridge, desk. I'm not even going to attempt to make myself coffee because literally it's 1:30 in the morning and my alarm is set for 4 to be downstairs by 5. Beautiful day in Texas. Yes. What a day, guys. What a day. Let me tell you what I have worked so far. So, my reserve starts from 2 in the afternoon until midnight, at which any point they can call you, so you have to be ready starting at 2 p.m. So I was at home and I actually got a call from crew scheduling at around 7 to 7:30. I think it was 7 o'clock. So at 7 o'clock yesterday, they said I had to be at the airport at 9:30. So the first flight was a deadhead, so that was good. It was a deadhead from Vegas to Oakland. The flight was only about slightly over an hour, but because we were a last minute replacement, the whole crew, when we got to Oakland, we didn't have hotel rooms. So it took about almost an hour and a half before we were up in our rooms resting. It was around 1:30 in the morning that we actually got into the rooms, and my alarm clock was set for 4 a.m. because technically that was a sit. It wasn't an actual layover. So what that means is that they gave us a hotel room, but it wasn't really for resting per se or like a layover. It was only so you can rest while you're waiting for your next flight. So my next flight, showtime was at 5 something in the morning. So I woke up at 4 and I worked from Oakland to Dallas Fort Worth, which is where I am right now. It is now 12:30 in the afternoon. Mind you, I've been up and ready since 2 p.m. yesterday, and I woke up like, I don't know, around 11 in the morning or something, or maybe 10. So I have been up all this time. So here in Dallas, we're going to be here until 10:20. That's our next showtime. So I have a little over 7 hours now by the time, for my shuttle and for my wake-up call. So yeah, and luckily from Dallas all the way to Vegas, it's going to be another deadhead. So I'll be able to hopefully rest a little bit on the plane. Getting here, it was 3 hours and 1 minute. So going back to Vegas, it may be a little bit longer because of the headwinds. But yeah, my day started at 2 p.m. yesterday, and it is now 12:30 in the afternoon the following day. And this is my first time that I've had to actually try to go to sleep. So right now, since I have about 7.5 hours before I have to be back up and ready, I am making myself some coffee, which again, guys, if you've seen me for a while, you know that coffee doesn't affect me. It's just like a regular beverage. And so I'm gonna relax. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of time. Otherwise, I would call my mama and have her come over and visit. But with only 7 hours of rest time, yeah, there's no time. No time. But I thought I would tell you guys all that's been happening. It's been crazy. It's been a crazy pairing. I'll have to say that. But I love this job. It's just exhausting sometimes, but nothing I can't deal with. So this is a new hotel in Dallas that I haven't been to. I've got Paul Mitchell. Nice big bathroom. Let me give you a 360. Okay. And here is the all right. It's currently 12:32. Nice little entertainment area. Here's the fridge and micro. And this is the view in my room. Well, the 5th floor, not bad. A lot of greenery out there. So EDGU71 GE or DE has a really interesting question I thought I would answer on camera. And it is, do we get to travel for free if we want to go on vacation somewhere? And do we have to wait on the long lines like regular people if we do? So that's an interesting question, and it depends. Now, remember guys, we have airline partner contracts with major airlines, and most airlines do. So getting to fly, you know, and hopping on a flight is pretty easy for us. And if you list yourself as a commuter, it's free. Now, if you're traveling with your family, and by the way, if you travel international, usually you have to pay the taxes to go to an international destination. So keep that in mind. But other than that, it's usually you don't have to pay anything. And can you skip the lines? Now remember, the airline crews get special badges, and our badges are called KCM. It's called Known Crew Members, which means that the company has already done a background check on all the employees. And if you have a KCM badge, it means that you don't have a criminal record, what they look for, and you are good to go. That's why we can bypass the regular TSA lines for the most part in most airports. Sometimes in smaller airports, we still have to go through the line, but they let us come through with like liquids and things that normally they wouldn't let a regular passenger have. So if you're gonna go on vacation, you are more than welcome to use your KCM badge and skip through the TSA lines and just go and, you know, check in and you're at the gate like that. However, if you're going to be traveling with your family doesn't have a KCM badge, which means they will have to go through the KCM line. And unless you want to go through the KCM line yourself, they're going to have to, you might want to stay with them and go through the regular TSA line. And that way you don't get separated from your family, because your transition from the check-in all the way to the gate is going to be within minutes. For your family, it's going to take much longer depending on how big the lines are at TSA. And so you're going to be waiting for a really long time if you go through KCM and they go through the regular TSA lines. So it just depends what you want to do. But yeah, technically, if you're traveling by yourself and you have your badge, go for it. You know, we do get random picked, and they will choose randomly someone to go get, searched or whatever. So keep that in mind in case you have any other plans. But yeah, I just wanted to answer one quick question and go to bed. Okay, guys, I'll see you in a little bit.
Just put it. It's gotta go in the bin.